All right, for this bonus build, we're going to be doing an email outbound agent. So you can think of lead enrichment and highly personalized outbound copy as one of our most popular use cases. And I'm going to hand it off to Marvin, and he's going to get right into it.
All right, let's say you have 100 leads. Each of those needs 3 to 5 follow-up emails if you are doing outreach. Well, that's almost 500 emails you need to keep track of manually. Or we go ahead and build an agent that does everything for you and pings you whenever someone actually responds. My name's Marvin Aziz. I'm head of community here at Lindy. And today we're going to build an outreach agent that you can simply give your leads to, and it will ping you as soon as someone responds. So let's go ahead and build it. I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to select the trigger, and I want to chat with the agent and have the message receive trigger right here. This will also allow me to actually bulk upload leads into my agent so that I don't have to do every single one manually, but instead simply upload a CSV file of all of my leads, including all of the information necessary, so that the agent can go ahead and do outreach accordingly. Awesome. Next, I want to enter the agent step. This agent is supposed to help me write the actual copy for those emails. One thing it will need is context about myself. Who am I? Why am I sending this email? And how many emails do I intend to send? So I want this agent to write all of those 3 follow-up emails. And I give it a bit of context about why I'm sending out these emails and general guidelines on how to write the copy for each one. Awesome. Now that I have my emails pre-written, I can go ahead and actually send the first email. For this instance, I'm going to use Gmail and the send email action. Now, one thing you'll notice is that I missed one step here, which is critical. I need to define a condition for the agent to exit the agent step, right? Because if we don't do that, well, we're not going to be able to save the workflow. But more importantly, the agent will not know when to actually stop with thinking and writing things, right? So I want this agent to exit once the task is complete. And in this instance, it's simply exit once you wrote all the needed email copy. Awesome. Now, for the send email action, I can define who to send the email to, the prospect's email in this instance. And then I'm going to leave the subject to auto as well as the body because we already write the email copy in here. I'm going to delete the signature and I'm going to set the from name to Marvin Aziz. Awesome. Now, what you could do just to get started with things, there are 2 ways on securely testing this, right? One is the ask for confirmation toggle. Now, if you don't want to send out emails by your agent yet, you want to feel more comfortable, right? You can toggle this on, and this will allow the agent to write the actual email, like prepare the action to send the email, but then ask you beforehand if the email is okay and allow you to make adjustments accordingly. The second option is to simply save it as a draft inside of your Gmail, right? So that you can then go ahead and send the email manually from your drafts. I'm gonna use the ask for confirmation up here just to be on the safe side. Once the email has been sent, I want to be able to track all of the email sequences I'm sending out to people. For that, I'm gonna perform an action here and append a row to one of my Google Sheets. And for this instance, I'm going to create a new sheet, which I'm going to call Outbound Agent. And now we need to think about, hey, what are the actual columns I want to keep track of, right? Definitely the date, the email of the prospect, any notes about the prospect, and then status, right? In the status, I probably want to know like which of the emails has currently been sent out. Like, is it the follow-up email? Is it the initial email? Stuff like that. Or if the prospect replied. And then once the prospect replies, I want to see the actual reply. Oh, one really cool trick here is to use the task rail because it allows you to easily go inside of your agent and debug if you think there's something wrong with the emails it's sending out. And then there's an email history, right? So in here, I want to have all of the emails we've been sending out using this agent. Now I'm going to choose that sheet, select sheet number 1, and I already have all of my columns in here, which is pretty cool. I'm going to prompt the date to follow a specific format, which is something like that. Let's see, today's date, there we go. And then prospect's email, that should be fine. In this instance, we just sent the initial email, so I can say initial email sent. Right. We can leave this blank, the prospect reply, because we didn't receive anything yet. And we can leave the task URL to auto and email history as well. Now, obviously, this kind of functions as your CRM, right? So I'm going to add to CRM. This could be replaced with HubSpot or any other CRM as well. So after the email has been sent, I actually want to wait for some time before sending out the next one, right? So I'm going to look for timer. I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to wait for 2 days. And I've set this to prompt AI because the LLM knows how to fill in this field already. So I don't have to do this manually. And now after the wait time has elapsed, I want to send out the next email. So I'm going to go to the linked actions. I'm going to send a reply to the same email. And I'm going to say follow up email number 1. I'm going to remove the signature. I'm going to set the from name to Marvin Aziz. And I'm going to set this to ask for confirmation as well. Now, once we've sent that email, we want to update our sheet accordingly. So let's do that. We're looking for update row. Now, after the email has been sent, what we want to do is set a new timer, which again, we want to wait for 2 days. And I'm actually going to rename this 2 days. 2 days. Center up number 1. Awesome. Now, after the wait time begins, we can actually perform another action because we want to update our sheet, right? So let's update the row. I'm going to choose my Outbound sheet, and I'm going to use as the lookup column, I'm going to use the prospect's email, right? I'm going to say prospect's email. That's the one it's supposed to search for. I can leave this blank because we already filled it in. Can leave this blank as well. Notes can be set to auto. And then status, I'm going to prompt it, follow up number, and then the actual number. So what this does is, depending on which follow-up we're sending out right now, it will hopefully replace the number placeholder with the actual number, right? So we always know where we are in the current sequence. Now, prospect's reply can stay empty as well. Task URL is already filled in. Email history, we can add full email history. And then I can say something like subject line, date, body. Awesome. Now, we send our follow-up number 1. We obviously want to send another one, so I'm going to copy and paste the first one and simply rename it to follow-up number 2. I'm going to change this prompt. And once we send out follow-up number 2, we want another timer, right? So I'm going to copy and paste the timer right here. And by the way, you can copy and paste these steps by selecting one of them and then hitting Command C and Command V. Awesome. So after the wait time begins, we again want to update our sheet. So let's drag it up here. And once the wait time has elapsed, we want to send out the last follow-up email, which is email number 3. And let's rename that email 3, follow-up email number 3. We don't want to save as draft. We want to ask for confirmation. Awesome. All right. Now, let's rename this Outbound agent and save it for a second. Now, what you will realize is that we're missing the most crucial part, which is, well, what happens as soon as we get a response, right? We want to ping ourselves in order to take over the conversation. Now, the cool thing is that we always have the after reply received connector here with each of those email actions. So we can make use of that. I'm going to start with the first initial email sent. And the first thing I want to do is cancel all timers, right? So cancel timers. That way I don't have any more timers going on here and we cannot send any more emails. Next thing I want to do is, well, send myself a Slack message, right? And you could do this as a direct message. I'm going to use a channel message instead. The channel is Lindy Agents, and the message is supposed to give me an update of everything that happened. Provide an update about the outreach sequence and the reply we just received. Let me know whether this is a hot lead or not. Keep the message super concise and format it using Markdown for Slack. Something like that should do the trick. And then once we send the message, we also want to update our sheet with a similar update row action, so we can copy and paste it. But there's a slight difference, since now we have a prospect reply, right? So we can put this to auto and then set the status to reply received. Maybe add an emoji to it. There we go. And just like that, we have an outreach agent that is capable of sending an email sequence, following up 3 times over a span of 6 days. And once we get a reply, we actually get a ping from our agent and update the sheet accordingly. So I just created this example lead list, right? Inside of Google Sheets. We've got a name, we've got an email address, and we've got the background information about the person. In this instance, it's head of community and crazy agent builder. We got a second guy in here who's head of ops and crazy sushi maker. All right, so let's actually download this file as a CSV. And now that I have my CSV, I can go into the task view and simply drag my CSV file into the left side of the task view, right? So there's this sidebar. It's not this main page, right? It's the side panel. I'm gonna let go. Now it's uploading, and it's actually asking me to confirm if I want to create 2 tasks from my CSV file, and I'm gonna confirm. And let's see what happens. Here's what's happening. The agent went ahead and drafted all of the emails we need to send out. It gave me a breakdown of the rating for each email. And then it wrote the first email draft, right, to john@lindy.ai. Saw you at Agent Academy, love the energy here. Pretty good email, actually. And now I'm allowed to either send the email or change it accordingly, right? Maybe he's not head of ops, he's actually head of community, like I am. And now I could go ahead and send that email or cancel, right? And just like that, you have an agent capable of following up with people and sending out a sequence on your behalf.